Now, what we want to do is we want to get into a new subject here called the quick pitch. Now, this is basically what we're doing for this segment is we're going to be hitting a couple of subjects, spending a couple minutes on them, but basically just kind of breaking down the week in baseball as it was and hitting some of the stories. So let's first talk about the first one, which is going to be Robbie Ray's meltdown. Did you see this?
Absolutely. This guy's having what, a perfect 5 innings?
Yes.
Yeah, 5 perfect innings. He's just handling business.
Against the Reds, I believe.
Yeah, against the Reds. And all of a sudden the fans start taunting him as the pitch clock.
Well, he actually got a pitch count violation, a pitch clock violation first.
Yeah. Yeah. So he gets a pitch clock violation, and then the fans start taunting him, counting down, and he throws 4 straight balls and walks the next batter.
Right. And was eventually pulled from the game, highlighting the psychological impact from the fans there. Love you, Reds fans. That was fantastic. Way to knock out a perfect game. When has a fan ever blown a perfect game for?
Dude, I mean, that's just it, right? These fans are all in. They're like, whatever we can do to help, we're here to help.
You know, the team that does opening day the best is the Cincinnati Reds. They do an opening day parade in Cincinnati. That city loves their ball team. And if you ever get a chance to experience opening day, which I've never have, but I've just heard stories, would love to, is go to the Reds game on opening day because they just know how to do it. It's fantastic. Absolutely love to see it. Way to go, Reds fans, for basically chasing Robbie Ray right out the gate when one of his best games he's pitched so far this season for the Giants. So fantastic. Next we have is the Jurickson Profar. Came out earlier this week that Jurickson Profar tested positive for HCG, which is a banned substance, which is, for anybody who isn't in the know, this is a masking substance or a recovery substance for those who are taking steroids. You test for this substance because the only reason why you would take this is to cover the use of steroids. So he received an 80-game suspension. Not only on top of that, he'll also miss any postseason games. If the Braves were to make it to the playoffs, he would also not be able to participate in that. Everybody's claiming that he did not knowingly take this substance. Obviously, the team has expressed disappointment and supports the MLB drug prevention program. This is your team, man. This is hitting you right where it hurts. Tell me about what you think about Jurickson Profar's suspension. I
mean, yeah, you nailed it. It hits right where it hurts. This was the biggest offseason acquisition that the Braves made. We brought Jurickson in to, obviously get his bat going. He's a solid defensive player. We needed him to continue to push this team, and now it's going to, open the door for some of these younger guys, but raises a bunch of question marks, right? Now we've got Brian De La Cruz out there who, he's been in and out of the minors and majors. Jared Kelenics had a good season last year, but he's going to be forced to play a lot more. The biggest highlight is now we're missing at Hull and still waiting for Ronald Acuna Jr. to come back. He's still probably out another 45 days. So it kills us, man. This just really hurts. It sucks to see a guy that, the Braves spent some money on to go out and make an acquisition and go get this guy.
I think it's time we start investigating the Padres, man. A year after Fernando Tatis Jr. got popped for that whole ringworm incident, right?
Yeah.
So he got popped for PEDs and got a 50-game suspension. And then obviously, Jurickson Profar signed a $1 million deal to go back to the Padres and had raised his batting percentage by over 60 points. His WRC plus was 8% below average. And now after that year in 2024, he was 30% above average in 2024.
Right.
He hit more home runs than he ever had before. His exit velo went up by, as an astounding amount. So this guy went from, at age 31, had his best season out of nowhere on a career year on a prove-it deal where he had a $1 million prove-it year. My question to Jurickson is, why the hell did you keep taking this once you signed your contract?
Yeah.
This suspension is without pay. This came up on Talking Baseball. If you were Jurickson Profar, why wouldn't you do this, man? You signed a 1-year deal. You used steroids to get to the point where you're a better player, and you just signed a $54 million deal. Now you're going to make about $36 million. It's not like the contract's null and void.
Right. You're just missing 80 games worth of pay.
The only thing that makes me really concerned about this particular story is that this is just opening the door for other players to do this. Because why wouldn't you do this? If you're a player who's on the outside looking in,
why not roll the dice?
This is a perfect example of why players do this. They're on the outside looking in. They're stealing jobs from players who are doing it the right way in the minors. But basically, he walked into a $50 million contract where he's going to make $10 million a year for the next 5 years, whatever. Yeah, and he's set for the rest of his life. There's generational money right there.
Yep.
You think he's going to bat an eye on this? You think he's losing sleep at night over this?
Oh, no.
Probably not.
He's sleeping fantastic.
You're not going to the Hall of Fame, so what do you care if you have this on your record?
Yeah.
You just made tens of millions of dollars.
Get a little asterisk, missed 80 games for positive drug test. Who cares?
I hate it, dude.
I'm still rich.
Yeah, this angers me more than anything, man. Like, I really don't like this. This is a story that really kind of pees me off. Let's go ahead and pivot on over to the next one. We got Seth Brown. This was an interesting story. Did you hear this one?
Yeah, I did. There's a bunch of videos on social media, obviously YouTube, you name it, where they're showing the pitch count with this guy and Seth Brown as the hitter. Like you watch the count on the screen go from 3-2, and then another ball's thrown, and then another ball's thrown. They finally walk him. It's like,
that's the biggest thing, is why did nobody notice? Not either dugout, not the pitcher, not the catcher.
Yeah,
obviously they're not going to say anything because if they're not going to take a walk. But the batter didn't notice, fans, and nobody noticed it. Like even the broadcaster, which was just like, oh, well, whatever. I don't understand why this one can just simply be completely forgotten. Like this isn't the only time this has happened, but to me, this makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But the good news is the game corrected itself, right? Because he still ends up drawing the walk. Could you imagine striking out on that fifth pitch? Because the count was 3-2. Could you imagine striking out and then going back and watching? It's like, wait just a damn minute.
Yeah.
That was the fourth ball right there.
Makes not a whole lot of sense, but that's what makes baseball a beautiful thing, man. You never know when something like that's going to happen.
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump in the next one here. This is going to be about Roki Sasaki. So Roki Sasaki had a rough start. He was struggling in his home debut with the Dodgers, only lasted 1.5 innings. Gave up 2 earned runs, which isn't that bad, but in an inning and a half, it is pretty bad. And he also had too many walks there.
So Roki, like you said, has a rough start. He goes out there. They end up pulling him out after 1 2/3. His stuff wasn't there. He was really struggling. Goes back to the dugout. A couple of shots on him, after he's come out. And it appears that there's like tears in his eyes, like he's been crying. Obviously we're America, and we think that anybody crying is just weak, and what's going on with this guy, like everyone has rough games. That's not actually the case, because you were telling me about the culture in Japan.
Yeah, so he's visibly upset with tears in his eyes. A lot of people are questioning whether or not he's ready for the big leagues or not. But this is not uncommon for Japanese players. So there's something called the Summer Koshin, which is a high school tournament in Japan where you commonly see players and managers crying after losses. It's a sign of respect for your opposition. Hey, you beat me. It's more of a sign of respect and a sign of admiration to the opponent that beat you. It's not necessarily a kid who's overwhelmed with emotion who can't handle the fact that he's not, playing well, which also could be a part of it, but it's just more common and more culturally acceptable for Japanese players to cry after a bad performance than it is for most, players in Major League Baseball. But I think this is definitely a story that's being overhyped simply because it is Roki Sasaki. Everybody wanted him, and he is struggling coming in here. It's his first start in the majors there. So yeah, I just think that's a lot of it is coming from that. What I really love though is that, the fans and are really rallying around him, emphasizing his potential. And like I said, this is something to be expected. It's almost as if someone maybe mentioned that he should have started in the minor leagues, but everyone got on this guy's case about it. So can't remember who that guy was. But, good looking dude for sure.
Probably been on the channel before too.
Yeah, I think he's been on the channel before. But he'll be fine, man. His stuff is filthy. Once he gets control of it, he'll dominate.
Yeah, I totally agree. And the fact is rookie pressure is real, and it's difficult. You're not in Japan anymore, right? Like, this is the best baseball league in the world with the most talented hitters. You're not going to sneak pitches by people. These guys have the best eyes in the world for searching things out. If you throw them and you make a mistake, they're going to make you pay. That's what they get paid for. This is really tough, but it gives Roki an opportunity to respond to the next one. Probably the best part about this situation is it makes you more excited to see him get on the mound next time. How does he respond? Let him get it back on the mound. The best part for this kid is the Dodgers are loaded with pitchers. They can afford to put him out there and have a poor performance and still go out there and win a ball game. Roki's in a prime situation because he can go out there and he can struggle through and get used to throwing to major league hitters, and you're not hurting your team because the Dodgers will just reload you with 86 Cy Young winners directly out of the bullpen.
There's a couple of extensions that were made in the first week of baseball. So Kristian Campbell, the Boston Red Sox, received an 8-year contract extension worth $60 million. There's a club option for 2033 and 2034. Campbell actually made his Major League Baseball debut on opening day. Already impressed. He's batting .375 in his first 5 games. This is a Braves move, right?
I was going to say, this is totally a Braves move, right? Like one good game and you're like, sign this guy, we'll take him.
Apparently there's talks with him and the Red Sox prior to beginning of the season. They were talking about it in spring training to get an extension there. I think this is a win-win, man. You get to buy out, he's going to be making more money in the early parts of his career. You're buying out some of those arbitration years. So if he's continuing to play well, the Red Sox are making money back, so don't have to pay him for arbitration. The Red Sox also extended Garrett Crochet earlier this week to a 6-year, $170 million deal as well. Garrett Crochet was one of the pieces that everybody wanted to trade for last year, but he refused to play in the playoffs unless he was given an extension beforehand. I think it's great. 6 years, $170 million deal for him. Good for him. Good for the Red Sox. He's got a couple of opt-outs in this deal as well. But yeah, just a couple of extensions there right out the gates that I think are impressive, man. And I do think more teams need to do this, man. This is something that's, it's smart.
If you got to pull the trigger early.
Yeah.
If you've got a talent, you've got to get these kids under contract, get them on the field, get them playing time. And see where it goes. It's just money. You'll make more.
There's one more that I wanted to bring up, which is actually Jackson Merrill's contract extension.
Ooh, Jackson Merrill's a good one. I have him on my fantasy team.
If it wasn't for Paul Skeens, he would have won Rookie of the Year last year.
Yeah.
It makes more sense just to buy out that contract, buy out those arbitration years, and move that money, shift that money earlier into the contract. This is great to see because this is the Padres who actually had to borrow money to cover their payroll.
Cover payroll last year, yeah.
Yes.
Sounds like they found some.
Again, folks, let us know in the comments down below what you think in regards to anything we talked about in Major League Baseball today. Drop in the comments, smash that like button for your boy AJ over there. And as always, subscribe to the channel. This channel did just hit 1,000 subscribers, where I believe we're at 1,300 now. Once this channel hits $500 in AdSense revenue, we'll be giving that back to our subscribers. 5 of you are each going to earn $100 each. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on the giveaway. And again, smash that like button for your boy AJ.
Oh. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, just know this is available, the whole episode in its entirety as a podcast, wherever you get your audio.
With all that said, my name is Darren, that is AJ, and this has been an episode of the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.